Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining. We're going to give everyone just a couple more minutes to jump on.
Hey Jennifer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. This is George Maris.
Hi, George.
I reached out to all the guys the past couple of days, so we'll see who can hop on. I know two of them. One is doing a commissioning for a job. The other.
All right, George, let's go ahead and get started. If you want to give everyone a quick introduction, we'll be recording today so you can get the video to the rest of the guys.
Fantastic. I'm very happy to hear. Introduction on myself, who I am.
Just as far as what you want everybody to know about coming to this presentation, why it's important.
Well, as far as for this presentation, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Why this presentation is, I guess, impactful?
Yep, why you want you guys here.
Well, I mean, we want myself and my guys here. I would say more importantly is it would benefit the managers just to hear about digital marketing. They're all pretty knowledgeable in it, but it's beneficial for all of them to get to have the terms reinforced and the digital marketing strategies kind of in the back of their mind.
Fantastic. Let's do it. Well, I'd like to thank you for bringing everybody together and everyone that's taken time out of the day to either attend live or watch the recorded session. I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group, and we're the preferred digital marketing agency for Goodman, Amana, Daikin, and Franklin. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how to leverage digital. I'm going to give you guys some kind of what's happenings and strategies within the industry and how it can really play a huge role in being able to grow your business, get more boxes out the door, recruit new dealers, and be able to retain those relationships long term. So hopefully we're on point as far as what your guys' goals are. Afterwards, I'm going to be sending you over all of the materials that I'm going over today. So you guys will have your hands on these things and be able to access them, use them. And then in addition to that, I'd just like to offer we're here to help. So our partnership with your distributorship is important to us. So you guys got resources. You can ask if you need help designing materials, if you need educational materials, webinars, if you need us to speak at dealer events, anything we can do to help grow your business. That's our job and that's our goal. So please don't hesitate to ask us if you need anything. I also have additional team members of ours on the call as well, which I'll introduce towards the end of the call. First and foremost, the way we look at dealers is these guys are entrepreneurs. You know, at some point they sat down with their spouses or partners and they pitched them on the idea of becoming an entrepreneur, quitting their full-time jobs, their benefits, their medical and everything else, and that opening up their own company was going to provide more time, money, and freedom, which is essentially the same goal as every entrepreneur. What they find is years into the business, they don't have more time, they don't have more money, and they sure don't have more freedom. So we've got to, as a team, as a unit, be able to help them acquire what they originally sought out to do when they first started this business. And that requires that they invest in their business with long-term, permanent, compounding interest impacts that are going to help them progressively grow their company and earn more of those things that they originally sought out to. It's our job to understand what motivates them, and it's our job to understand why they do what they do and what those original goals from. All entrepreneurs often lose sight of those original goals when they get into the mix and they just start going day by day, fighting fires, and they don't have a very strategic approach. So that's one of the things that we really try and focus on when we're working with the dealers is having a very, very strategic approach to their business so that they can maximize results. Our goal is to help them do the right things in the right order at the right time. And I cannot stress that enough. A lot of these guys, they're doing the right things, except they're doing them out of order. They're not doing them at the right time. They're not understanding the interoperability, the interdependency in between the activities that they're doing and why some investment is not producing maximum results because things that should have been done as predecessors were not done in advance. We just had someone else join. Let me let them in real quick. All right. So that's a big deal, is just the timing of when you're implementing things. And the more you guys understand about the timing, doing the right things in the right order at the right time, that's going to help you be able to provide better advice to these guys, to really position them to put the infrastructure in place to be able to make continuous progress in their business growth. In order to do this, we've developed and have tested and implemented and watched this work in thousands of companies over the past 2 decades. This is the 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results, and it's designed to help coach and consult them down a path that takes them through 12 steps, 12 stages, that if done in the right order, will produce those results on a consistent basis year over year over year. The more results that are created, the stronger the infrastructure, the more these guys, these entrepreneurs, can get back to what they originally sought out to get, which is more time, more money, and more freedom. And the less you guys have to work to try and get orders in the door, the more they just flow. You don't have to ask for the business when the business is coming. This is essentially the path to new customers. We call it the digital highway, and we want companies to market their business responsibly. And responsibly means we have a plan. We're not just throwing stuff against the wall to see if it sticks. In a nutshell, this boils down to, what do they want to sell? Where do they want to sell it? Are they an option when and where consumers are looking? And do they look great when they find you? And those questions, what do you want to sell? AC repair, AC service, AC maintenance, AC tune-ups, air conditioner installation, air conditioner replacement, furnace installation or replacement, heater installation. We have to think about how consumers search, where they search, and what are the terms that consumers look for when they're searching. What do you want to sell, essentially, and how are the consumers looking for it? Where do you want to sell it? In what physical locations? And where are consumers looking? Are you an option? Which means if somebody Googles it or they ask Alexa, tell me the best heating and air conditioning or air con. Now my Alexa's talking.
No.
Alexa, stop. So if they're talking to, I'm gonna be quiet about it, but Google Home or Alexa or Bixby, or if they're typing it into their cell phone or they're typing it into a computer, are they positioned as an option? If you guys want to sell more boxes, your dealers need to show up when and where consumers are searching for the exact phrases that consumers are searching for. When the consumer gets there to a website or a local listing site or a social media site, do they look good when they get there? Can they convert? And do other consumers, other people, sell them for them? Most consumers are making those decisions way before you have an opportunity to make it to the kitchen table. So we want to make sure that they look good when they get there. Those endorsements are in place. They're properly positioned for today's consumer buying trends and habits. And it's weird because as a business owner, it's, my family, we own a real estate company as well. And I always tell realtors, it's like, you guys are smart. Then you get your business license or your realtor's license. Then all your smartness just goes out the door. You forget how to think as a consumer. You forget about those trends. What do you do when you need something? I can ask any audience in the entire nation, what do you do when you need something? And notoriously 99.9% of the room is going to be, I Google it. So if that's the case, if the entire audience is saying, if I need a new product, a service, if I need to repair something, fix something, I want to install something new, I'm doing my research, I Google it, then as a business owner, you better be positioned to be able to be that option, be a choice when they get there. And the next thing every consumer does is identical. What do you do next when you find someone? I check out their reviews. I glance at their social media sites. How are those things representing your business? Because that's your first and foremost sales force. You either have it and it's selling for you, you don't have one at all, or it's hurting you because you're not paying attention to your reputation online. So everything starts with step number 1. This is your website. This should be your 24/7, 365 storefront and salesperson. When it comes to websites, this is usually where the majority of businesses fail right out of the gate. Unfortunately, technology changes so fast that whatever you implemented a year ago or 2 years ago is probably out of date. I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2015, Google came out with a new requirement. It required all websites to become mobile responsive. It was known as mobile-geddon in our industry. Literally, dealers that paid attention got to move up the ranks, and those dealers that didn't pay attention, didn't redesign and develop their websites to be compliant, their statement was that it felt like my phones were turned off in 24 hours. Imagine having a company and shutting off your phone system in 24 hours. That's what it felt like. We are in that period now. Google makes hundreds of changes to the requirements and technology advancements. As technology advances, applications develop and consumers change their habits. However, every couple of years, Google makes a significant change that requires you to demolish and replace your website. And we are here right now. In 2017, it started in 16, Google started working on a new philosophy, coding strategy, content strategy, design strategy that was required in order to be able to work in today's environment with how consumers shop. And it's called a mobile first initiative. And essentially what that means is mobile responsive was when websites used to be really big and we had to make them be able to shrink down so that the aspect ratio maintained a decent sized containers, and it shrunk down and your website would work properly on a mobile device. Today, right now, with the mobile first initiative, we have to redesign, redevelop, and restructure content to meet the mobile first requirements of designing and developing and putting the content structured for a mobile phone first. All of the requirements are based on a mobile phone and how the website displays on a mobile phone, how the content displays, all of the coding structures, which is entirely different than a website, and it has to have the ability to expand. So what does that mean to you guys? If you have a dealer that's sitting, doing a nice 20 million a year in annual sales, they're sitting at the top of Google, they historically have always been presented as the number one option in that particular area. If they don't pay attention to this and get that website redesigned and redeveloped to be compliant with these requirements, they could easily feel like their phone's turned off when Google reassesses their website and drops them to the back of Google from where they were sitting in a page one position. That can be damaging to your guys' sales as well as theirs. We've seen companies go from $6 and $10 million in annual sales down to less than $2 million. Of course, your costs are appropriate when you have a larger company, and that really, really hurts. So we want to avoid that. On the flip side, if we have a dealer that is a little bit newer, smaller out of the gate, has not necessarily had a page one position, but maybe is sitting around page 2 or page 3, they have an opportunity right now to be able to redesign and develop that website, meet these mobile first requirements, and be able to take over the market and kick some tail and take some names with it. So it's a huge opportunity on one side, and it's, a major risk for companies on another side, but this is when you can go in and you guys can help these dealers understand that if they restructure right now to meet this initiative before it becomes a mad requirement and everything changes, and it literally, the search engines and the results in the search engines will change overnight when Google rolls this out. And they don't give a rollout schedule. They pick a group of websites for a specific category in a specific city, and boom, tomorrow it changes. So this is a huge opportunity for you guys. Highly recommend. But in addition to that, websites don't last longer than 18 to 24 months. They've got to be replaced and redeveloped from a design, content, optimization, and definitely from a code structure standpoint. So in our world, we put our dealers, as long as they say yes, in a refresh plan, which essentially means they get a new website every 24 months or when we deem that it's necessary in order for us to continue to maintain positive progress and results from their website. A refresh plan is critical. They don't have to come out of pocket with a ton of money. They're always in the latest and greatest technology, and it allows us to protect that initial investment they have in. So this needs to be the first place they start. Everything else without this if you think about it, if you're spending money on pay-per-click and your website looks bad, you lose. If you are spending time and energy on social media and your website looks bad, which is where consumers are going to convert, you lose. If your website doesn't have the content that's necessary, you lose. The basics of all website, when it comes to the visible, what needs to be there is simple. Who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, and what do other people think about you. That's the nuts and bolts. When it comes down to what do you sell, that has to break down into content that is structured like a filing system. If you think of Google like a giant file cabinet, every piece of paper has a label on it. The label only contains a certain number of characters. You can't go over that. If the label's too generic, you can't file the piece of paper. So if they have content on their website that says our services, or if it says heating and air conditioning systems, they're going to be competing with a million or few million other pages because it's too generic. They're competing with the whole world. If they have products on their site, they're competing with the Home Depots and the Walmarts and Amazons of the world. You have to think very specific. Air conditioner installation in Savannah, Georgia, for example. You have to be literally down to the nth degree in order to be able to compete in this environment. The near me applications, that helps as well. Content is typically the most important asset that a business can own, and it's the least budgeted for item when it comes to any project. You may spend $2,500 on a website, whereas you need $5,000 in content. That's how significant content is in order to be able to compete. Content, you start off with the basics, which is all of your installation, repair, maintenance, tune-ups, and so forth. And then it has to go into the research piece. When consumers are saying, when should I replace my air conditioner if I live on the coast of Florida? Or how much does an air conditioner system cost? Or new air conditioner system financing options in blank, whatever city it is. So that's where SEO content, blog content, and then you get into authority content. Content it's the nuts and bolts of everything. What is the customer looking for? And do you have a piece of paper filed in the front of that drawer in order for the consumer to be able to find? And when they get there, does it look good? Does it read well? Does it allow the consumer to be able to request a free estimate, schedule maintenance, schedule service, get an online quote, any of the activities that are going to allow them to convert? Content then flows into all of the marketing activities, which is what puts you on the first page of Google: local, social, video, email, images, ebooks. All of these other activities are what continues to grow. So that's step 2 of the 12 steps. Step 3 is online scheduling. We're in an environment today, it's interesting. When you look at your dealers online, if it says they're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and then everything is closed down, they need to be careful, because the average consumer, you guys included, cannot take care of their personal home to-do list Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. When are they looking? It's after hours. It's at 2 in the morning when that checklist is going off in their head. Does your website allow a consumer to easily be able to check something off their list? Can they go to your site, click on a link that says schedule a 20-minute phone call to discuss a new installation, or schedule service or repair, or sign up for a maintenance plan? Can they apply for financing online? Can they do these things evenings, weekends, anytime? A lot of times dealers don't understand. They think, having an online scheduling system means that they have to stay open, or that consumers need the work done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not true. Consumers just need to be able to check something off their list, schedule an appointment to talk to somebody tomorrow at noon. And they might be doing that at 2 in the morning. So that's step 3. That's essentially your infrastructure. Step 1, 2, and 3, your website, your content, and some kind of online scheduling and CRM system, keeping all that data organized so that you can leverage it in the future. Then you get into your marketing strategy, and here it's important to understand the difference between simple interest and compound interest. As an investor in their business, they need to be going after compound interest. That means I invest money today, and the dollar I put in today is actually worth more and produces more in the future. So the difference is simple interest when you're burning and churning cash. If I spend money on a pay-per-click campaign, when I stop spending, that money is over, right? I have nothing from that spend. If I invest money into content and I write a page of content and optimize it on my website, the longer that page of content is on the website, the more valuable it becomes, the more backlinks, the higher it ranks, the more business it can produce. If I spend money on a television ad, the second I stop spending on that $20,000 to $100,000 campaign, I have nothing. I have no asset that will produce revenue permanently. However, if I take the same amount of money or half amount of money and I invest it into a series of YouTube videos, what happens with those YouTube videos? They grow year over year over year. They get more traffic, more views, and they produce more business. So this is really where you guys can play a great asset in these guys' world in helping them understand the difference between investing in activities that will produce permanent and compounding interest impact on their business. This is the nuts and bolts. Are you an option? The way consumers are searching is different. They're not just typing into a computer. In fact, they're not just typing into a mobile device. And in fact, they're not just talking to their devices, their Amazons and Alexas and their Bixby's and Google Homes and all of these things. Dealers are so far behind. Voice search is huge, but what we're concentrating on, we're past voice search. We're already there. We're already getting our dealers listed inside Google Homes registry, Alexa's registry, and so forth. We're already moving into the VR and augmented reality world, whereas we're still trying to get dealers to have a website that's ready for a mobile phone. We should be much, much, much further. The dealers, we got to help them keep up with consumers. As consumers' buying habits change, business owners need to reallocate their direction to be able to meet consumers when and where and how people are searching. That's what's going to produce leads. They've got to be everywhere all the time, no matter how a consumer is searching. So step number 4 starts with just this. We skip marketing the website and we move over to local directories or local listings. CI Web Group sets up over 60 local directories, including things like Google Home and Alexa, and gets these dealers registered on all of these sites so that if a consumer is searching on a voice application, on a VR application or an AR application, that they have an option to be found. This is focusing on all the third-party directories that are an accessorial item to your website. So your website's in place. These directories are going to point to the site, but the directories themselves work independently. Step number 5 is the reviews. We help dealers acquire, monitor, respond, and remarket reviews. We got to let these stars sell you first, and the most important place to get reviews is going to start with Google and secondarily on your website, but they have to be properly indexed in order to be able to provide value. Otherwise, you're going to be getting reviews for no reason other than it feels good to be getting reviews. And a lot of these guys are going about it the wrong way. They're focused on Yelp, they're focused on Angie's List and Home Advisor and all these things that aren't going to go hunting for new business. Google and your website are the 2 most important places to acquire those reviews. It's most visible to consumers. Google looks at them the highest as far as rating your entire website and your company to determine if they should rank you higher online. And it doesn't require a membership to be able to see the reviews, like something like Angie's List or Home Advisor. Step number 6 is social media. Just bottom line, they got to do it. Connect, share, convert. A lot of consumers utilize these as a trust barrier to determine if they even want to do business with a company. If you're not on social media and you haven't posted content, or you haven't posted content since 2010, they may think your business is closed or that you're hiding something. You're not authentic. People can't connect with you in a public space. Once you have those things in place, so step 4, local, step 5, reviews, step 6, social media, you've got your website and your content, technically you're now in a position where you can start SEO, because SEO is dependent on how successful you are social with local, and with your reviews. So this is another one of those things where timing matters. If you don't have those things in place, you're going to say SEO doesn't work. Why? Because it's dependent on those. In addition, if you're on page 1 of Google, you've worked on SEO, it's made progress for you. If your website looks bad, or you've got 3, reviews, and you've got a 2.0 star or average, now you're in a position where you worked hard and you spent money to bring a consumer to your world, and the consumer kept looking because you didn't look good when they got there. So hopefully this is starting to connect the dots. Step 8 is we don't want to stop building content. We need to speed up the results with ongoing content. It requires a lot of motivation. So they can either outsource it, or they can, do it internally, depending on if they have resources in-house. But it's required. You got to continue to add content. Google wants to know, are you relative? That means, do you have content related to the searches consumers are searching for? Are you trusted? Which is, do other people like you? Social, local, and reviews. And are you current? Which is the frequency of new content being posted onto your website and your social metasphere. Step number 9 is kind of a pause. At this point, you should have a database full of prospects and customers, some on maintenance agreements, some not on maintenance agreements, some that got quotes, maybe they were looking at buying a house. Anyway, this database needs to be leveraged. So we don't want them to just simply go after new prospects constantly and forget about leveraging this database. We need to leverage email, print, and text, and other avenues to be able to build repeat business, referral business, and really leverage that database to grow. Step number 10, now we're in paid advertising, pay-per-click, pay-per-call, radio, television, all of these other things. At some point, the digital assets that you have are only going to do so much, and now it's time to take the excess cash flow that you have and start leveraging all of these other kinds of marketing. And these things, you've got cash flow to spend. You can trade money for leads, whereas the rest is going to work permanently. Video marketing, I'd almost put video marketing higher up in here. It just seems to be a little bit more expensive. So we need to wait until the business has enough cash flow to do this. But video, when placed and positioned in the right place, it can help you promote your reviews. It can help you operationally in onboarding new employees and training. It can also help you acquire new customers through search terms. And now it's everything from drone to whiteboard to small, short video commercials and clips, things you can use everywhere. So the larger that video network is that's out there working for you, if it's optimized properly, placed in the biggest search engine of the world and YouTube, then you have the ability to let these videos work for you while you sleep. And then finally, the mobile app environment. Once you have a brand that's large enough to be able, and a database that is large enough to really want to protect it, this is how you protect it. Creating a mobile app, like a home services network app, where it's you and the top 20 or 50 or however many other home service providers in your area. We want to keep those customers off of Google, give them something in their pockets that's going to help their customers and their network share clients. So if you've got somebody that's a plumber, an electrician, and an HVAC guy, and a roofer, and so forth, if they're all in one app, they can then be sharing leads and opportunities and customer bases by getting that app in the hands of their customers. Let's keep them off of Google and make sure that anything that they need for their home, they're going to the app to get it. So they're not searching and finding other companies to provide the service. That's essentially the 12-step roadmap and the philosophy behind it. It's designed to focus on infrastructure, branding, advertising, and marketing. And they will really understand the difference when it comes to acquisition, conversions, repetition, and referral business. We have a program going on through the end of the year. If you guys refer any new customers, we'll give them $500 for new clients. They can use this. Typically, I'm going to recommend that they use it towards logo design. If they've got a DIY logo, it doesn't look good on a very professional website. Just a little bit about our team. We've got over 100 full-time employees. We stretch across the entire United States. We work in 6 time zones, 6 days a week, 20 to 24 hours a day. And the team is really developed of a lot of different subject matter experts. Everyone doesn't do everything, but everyone is an expert at what they do. This allows us to be able to have lower pricing and for the value as far as what we're doing. We can keep our costs down. Of course, our relationships with our manufacturer brands allow us to do that as well. This is just a simple budgeting guide that will show you what we charge. We've kept our prices the same pretty much since we started, and through partnerships with a company like yours, this is why we're able to do this. Is we've got a really good consistent flow of new dealers that are coming on board and a great retention rate. So that's essentially where we're at. It explains it by step. So businesses, if they follow the plan, they can scale into the program as well. As far as your role, there's no better time than now. First thing you can do is sign up dealers for a free strategy session and digital evaluation. You can always send us a list of websites and put our team to work. Our team, the difference is we have the ability with just a website to be able to go through and determine the approximate size of the company. What are they trying to sell? What cities are they trying to sell it in? What's their competition? And we can help you guys prioritize. If you want to make the biggest impact on your sales numbers, we can identify exactly which dealers have the least amount of competition, the highest probability of being able to compete digitally and as quickly as possible, and we can help you prioritize that list. You guys, what you can do is prioritize personality and attitude. You know, people always ask, what's a good client for us? I don't care how much their annual sales are. They can be right out of the gate, first-time business, 1 or 2 people. That's as important to us as a company that's doing 30 or 50 million a year. It doesn't matter. What matters is personality. Do they have a progressive personality? Do they really want to make a change? Are they committed to the process, or are they going to disappear? Are they positive versus are they solution oriented? Those kind of things are great for us because our team gets excited and it helps to have a great partner to be able to connect with. Next is to leverage programs for special pricing, which I'll go into. I'll give you ideas on how you can convert new dealers and more of them by leveraging a marketing conversion plan. Also, book us for dealer meetings, TSM trainings, webinars, ride-alongs. You know, if you can get us out there. My husband and I, we travel 10 months out of the year. I'm currently sitting in an RV in the middle of somewhere, Utah, Iowa, Idaho. Where am I at? I don't know where I am. But we travel the entire United States. This is what we do, and we teach and educate and train and try and get people motivated to be able to make progress. The business owners need it, not just once a year, but they need to be motivated and pushed and educated. And enough changes in our world that if we came and spoke last year, I promise you it's going to be different this year. So we need to keep them moving. Also, leverage accrual funds quarterly. Worst thing you could do is wait until March in order to get your dealers utilizing their accrual funds. You just essentially put a kibosh on an entire potential year's worth of new business. Every single quarter, there's a new season coming up. So if we're planning for fall, if we're planning for spring, if we're planning for summer, if we're planning for winter, because it takes time to make progress online, if you're sitting in the middle of summer, we should absolutely right now be preparing for our winter season. The content, the rankings, everything, we want to be positioned so when we get into the middle of winter, we're not scrambling, wondering where the business is going to come in because we delayed and waited too long. Once a dealer is in the program with us, the more you guys, connect with our team, we can help you guys bring value to the table for those dealers permanently. You can say, hey, I got a dealer working with you. You know what's happening. What are the highlights? What's working? Essentially, every business grows from having this mindset on an ongoing basis. What's working? Do more of it. What's not working? Reallocate it to something that is. and what's next? What am I not doing yet that I should be doing? And if that mindset is part of what you bring to the table, the dealer brings to the table, you guys, they're never going to go look at another company because they're coming in with steak dinner and a ball game ticket. You're going to have a role in that business as an advisor that's really helping them look for, all right, what's working? Let's get down to the numbers. I've got a team that knows how to analyze the data to figure out what's working. Let's do more of it. If you've got $500 in accrual funds somewhere mid-year, use those dollars for more content to put something new in that online store that can potentially produce more phone calls and more sales for the next season. Ongoing strategy sessions, again, progressive planning, leverage tools and ShowPad, our knowledge base. I'll show you where to get to all these different tools at. And then help keep dealers engaged. Show up, suit up, and participate. These guys, we can't care more about their business than they do. They've got to participate. So I know the small business mentality. We've been through it. We've dealt with tens of thousands of them, and we all have to keep them focused and on point. They tend to get amnesia a year later. So we've got to really help them through that. With that, you guys, signing up for a free strategy session and requesting a digital evaluation, it's as easy as sending over an email to Lisa at CI Web Group. You can send an entire spreadsheet. You can go directly to our website, click on a link that says request a strategy session. You can schedule online right on the front. It's very, very easy. And then also inside of there, we've got a full ebook. Let me show you real quick the dealer conversion plan. And this is something you guys can talk about internally and see if this is something you're interested in utilizing. We essentially developed this for the manufacturers as they're trying to recruit new dealers. They get stuck because, they educate them, they talk about products, they really don't have a hook to get a dealer to make a decision right then. So we came up with the conversion program where you're able to go into a dealer. It's a $4,500 investment. A lot of the distributors, what they're doing is using part of the accrual monies. They're contributing some as well. And essentially, if the dealer commits to doing a certain volume, so let's say that you guys throw out and say, if you'll commit to doing $100,000 or $75,000 in purchases from us, we'll put you into our preferred dealer program. What you're going to get is a branded dealer website, properly designed and developed, and it's going to include all of these bells and whistles. And your responsibility is only to hit your sales numbers, and you got to take care of $100 a month maintenance and so forth that comes with the website. So that's one way you can use the program. A lot of times this is also used as a value proposition or a thank you for existing dealers who are hitting those numbers. Or sometimes you've got dealers that, they're doing good, but we want them doing great. And so this is a way to get them quickly inside a full-blown website with content. We'll be transferring the content from their existing website and making sure that they're properly set up for success going forward. So this is a 2-page brochure you guys can print. You can use that. And then for your smaller dealers, so if you've got somebody that's brand new out of the gate, it's a 2-person shop, maybe they're doing less than, $250,000 a year in gross annual sales, and they don't have a website. A great way to get them moving, at least get them started, is just a branding landing page. Is it going to go get them new business? No, but is it going to give them a place to send customers that will convert more? Absolutely. So they're already out there trying to really work hard to get their business off the ground, up and running, get new customers in. For $100 a month, we'll put them in a branded landing page. The beauty is, the way we build our startup, it's called a Kickstart program, is we're essentially building a 1-page website. As they grow, as they acquire more accrual funds, if they have that $100, add 2 more pages, add another 6 pages, add another 10 pages. What'll happen is they'll grow into a full-blown website, but they didn't have to come up with a big chunk of money up front to invest. So we really designed this to be able to help, somebody who doesn't have a website be able to get going, and at least have something in place that they can continue to scale and grow into without having to come up with, a ton of money to get off the ground. So with that, you guys, hopefully this is helpful. George, what do you have to add? Do you guys have questions?
Yeah, I have one question. A couple things. One, great presentation. The first thing that I wasn't knowledgeable of the $500 credit for new members.
We just launched that last week with Amana. So
okay, yeah, I saw the dates and I saw from May until now, so that's why I was wondering. I thought I missed it.
No, you're good to go. So anybody that you add, just talk to Lisa and they'll make sure and get that credit going with the dealers. And usually the way to advise the dealers is that use it towards your logo. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a really good looking website with a bad looking logo, but it hurts my heart. I'll say that.
Yeah, the logo. My next question, just curious. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this from multiple distributors and multiple different market areas, but being a marketing company like yourself, you guys have a very unique advantage as far as for being with our manufacturers and for providing marketing materials to our specific dealers. You guys kill it for that, and that's what you're well known for, and that's where we really sell you guys. The one area where I will say, our sales managers, they won't encourage, them to use CI Web Group over the advertising agency that they may already be using. And those are things that you can't overcome as far as for people liking their neighborhood Spider-Man. They like going down the street and shaking hands and discussing it with someone that they know. The reason I bring this up and that the difference between customer preferences, I think it would be a good idea almost to provide an incentive for the territory managers to kind of push the product of CI Web Group and it being with the manufacturer, with Goodman, and almost kind of bring people on board, but they don't really have an incentive. And as far as, you wouldn't encourage your customer to change their marketing company just because they're with Goodman and Amana. We could provide them with the marketing materials. It would just be imposing a nuisance on them, and it would be unfavorable. So I'm just wondering, if there's a way that, whether or not that's a $500 credit, whether or not that could be worked around with to maybe offer something to my managers. I mean, they're a big role in speaking to CI Web Group and your offerings, and I think that would I think you would see results out of that, or at least more. I mean, we do use you guys a lot, and I mean, I bring a CI Web Group printout to every new business acquisition or meeting I go to. So do the other guys. But as I said,
great idea. I think that's a great idea. Let us work something up and we'll put some kind of a bonus structure in place. As long as you guys approve it and you're good to go, we can absolutely do that. You're essentially an extension of our sales team. So I think that's a fantastic idea. And because we need your help, there's work. If the dealer disappears, trust me, our team's going to call and say, please help. You guys can go knock on their door and we can't. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever you think is just, and I look forward to discussing that in the future, because I think that, yeah, as I said, I mean, it's we all know the value of the CI Web Group and the benefits of our customers working with you guys. So I think if you guys would like to see a higher number of applicants, then yeah, a little encouragement to the managers would definitely go a long way.
I love those ideas. And as you guys are brainstorming and you come up with stuff like that, please let us know. We are large enough to support a good client base and know what we're doing. And we're small enough to make decisions like that quickly.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm happy to hear that, Jennifer.
Absolutely.
Can you send me a copy of this webinar, or will if I hit record? No, can you email me a copy, please?
Yes, you're going to get a copy of the webinar. Plus, we're going to send you a link to a folder that includes all of these documents that I went over. And if you need us to come up with or develop anything custom for you, like I said earlier, please don't hesitate to let us know, and we'll make it. We'll build anything. If you guys are doing a dealer meeting, a lot of times we'll develop a landing page for you guys to promote a dealer meeting, market it, get people to register on it. So there's you've got a lot of leeway with us to be able to help you. We can even help you guys understand how to find and understand this potential size of dealers as well. There's little tricks to the trade that we can teach you guys when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah, definitely.
Any of the other guys? Leo, I'm going to unmute you. Any thoughts or questions?
No, I get it all from George.
That's the one time he's called me George. He always calls me Jorge. That was weird to hear, Leo.
Well, we're in a public setting. I don't want to really bust out the nicknames.
No, I'm actually the two attending territory managers, Leo and Mike. They're both very knowledgeable in the program. And as far as Leo, he's brought on new business and from customers that are an 80-year-old businessman that's taking part of Everest and now is looking to be doing his website. So a lot of this, the ease of it fits right in hand with our Massachusetts dealers. It really does.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we are really flexible. I think one of the benefits of our team is everybody cares deeply. So if there's ever a personality conflict or they want a new project manager or they want to work with someone different, there's no request we won't facilitate. You know, we can absolutely help. Sometimes it's hard for dealers to commit to this kind of a project and this kind of business marketing. So it takes them some change and encouragement and coaching and a lot of flexibility to be able to help them understand a whole new territory that they don't live in. So everyone understands that. So we really want to be strong partners to you guys and to your dealers, and let's make them happy, make them grow, and make it easier for you guys to retain and grow those relationships as well.
Yeah, and maybe make a little money, right?
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for everyone on the webinar. You guys did a great job, and I look forward to sharing this and discussing further.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Have a great
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, you
Bye,
too.
guys.